Oh, A would
Oh
be
my gosh, it
10.
went all the way to U?
Yeah. And then back down. Yeah.
Okay, I remember what I was gonna ask. Do we know, like, do radio signals occur in nature? I, this, like, naturally things emit radio signals, which this might be beyond my beyond my ability to understand something, but like,
I mean, it's a frequency, so everything emits a frequency.
well, I know, but like, what would make radio signals?
No, but it's a frequency that it's catching. So
I
it doesn't have to
know.
be a radio, like it's any frequencies.
Oh, okay. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I don't think I get it, but it's fine. I don't think I'm gonna get it.
Well, let me get to the next thing and maybe you'll get it because they,
Okay.
spoiler alert, they kind of think they know what it was.
Oh, okay.
Um, but yeah, there were two frequencies given, which was 1420.356 megahertz and 1420.4556 megahertz, which the hydrogen line is right between those two at
And
1420.4
yeah, okay.
megahertz. The hydrogen line is like the radiation spectral line that hydrogen creates when its energy is changed. So when it's going into a different state of energy.
Okay, so like it could have like exploded or something.
Yeah,
I
right.
again, I think this is beyond my brain power because now I'm just thinking about energy.
Oh. Well, okay, but since the hydrogen line is like very set at that frequency and it's such a high frequency, like you couldn't make that else, like 1420 megahertz is like super high frequency. So people have thought that the hydrogen line could be used as a communication line, like through deep space. So
Right,
they were kind of
because
thinking this is,
it's
yeah,
still a signal.
right. And it's like a steady thing that you could create to like tell another planet or if you had a fleet of spaceships out there to communicate between each other. So they were kind of thinking.
Oh, thank God I didn't take shrooms today. My brain is already not doing
Yeah,
this.
probably good if it's about aliens too. Yeah. I'm glad you did not do that. Yeah, well, so this got everyone excited because they thought for sure, like, this is an alien race trying to communicate with either someone or themselves, like, using the hydrogen line. So, but since then, it's been like 40 years, and there have been like hundreds of attempts to find that signal again, and none of them have found anything. So now it's kind of like, was it really aliens?
Right, or was it just like um coincidence, I
Right.
guess?
Yeah.
Like did something happen to happen
Right.
that we picked up? Oh my God, this is
Yeah,
too
because they
much.
were
Okay.
thinking, like, why would they stop the signal just after we caught it for 72 seconds? Or, like,
Maybe they didn't want to be caught.
right, that's true. Yeah, they could have been talking to themselves or whatever, and we happened to catch it at the right spot or something, but we haven't found it since then. So now, like, a lot of astronomers, like, including Eamon, who first found it, doesn't believe this is from aliens since we can't recreate it or, like, find it
Oh,
again.
yeah.
Um, so, like, since then, in 2017, a professor of St. Petersburg College, Antonio Paris, believes he's found the source of the signal. So he thinks it was a pair of comets known as 266P and 335P, otherwise known as Christensen and Gibbs, probably people who found them.
Right.
Um, but these comets have clouds of hydrogen gas, millions of kilometers in diameter, which hydrogen naturally emits the frequency of that 1420 megahertz.
Oh.
And it's like trailing on the comet. So they're
Well, that's depressing. I wanted it to be a signal.
I know. Yeah. I mean, I didn't know about I had heard about it, but I didn't know the outcome, but it was a little sad. But it makes sense that if it was comets and then those comets haven't come back or, because some comets come back like 200 years later or something.
Or don't. I mean, do comets,
Or
like.
never come back,
Yeah, do
yeah.
they die? Dissipate? I don't think I fully understand what a comet is either.
I think if they're smaller, it's just a ball of frozen hydrogen gas shooting through space
Okay, how did it get
and
shooting?
like rocks and
I'm asking too many questions.
it's like a frozen rock that then trails the gases as it heats up.
Okay, how do they form? Anyway. It must be like part of an explosion and then it like
I don't know.
gets.
Yeah, it just goes forever. Because like Halley's Comet's forever, right? Like that happens all the time. Like that's never gonna. Do comets die? I don't know.
They have to.
Maybe just how big they are.
Cause it's just, yeah, and like, it's just so
Yeah.
slow dying that, do they propel themselves? Do we need to do an episode on comets?
That is a mystery to us.
Just
So
to
how do
us.
comets work?
It's probably a very well-defined thing that people know.
I mean,
but...
maybe to other people. Maybe we should do an episode where it's like all scientific mysteries. Like, probably Comet's pretty short, but we could add other stuff that we're like, how does this even work? And we just teach each other. Educational day.
Right. Oh no. Once we start getting into this like space stuff or like really
Yeah.
heavy physics, my brain just says, no more.
Yeah, physics, I can't do either.
I mean, I love physics, like, but only the parts I understand.
I don't think I like physics at all. I like chemistry.
Oh, I love. Oh, here's a formula. How fast is the ball falling? Just plug it in, and you know. I love it, but
I think because when I took it in high school, it was like a bunch of word problems. Like it was a lot of unnecessary information in all of the tests
oh
as a
yeah,
word
it's also like
problem.
so conceptual.
Yeah.
Like I think sometimes I'm just like I don't need to understand why, which is hard for me. But yeah,
Right. I just want the formulas and yeah. Okay. Well, that's the wow signal. So now we can get into the types of aliens. Like just because that wasn't aliens doesn't mean aliens don't exist, right?
right.
So I went with four main types that I'm familiar with. So we'll see. You probably are familiar with them too. But the first one is the most common one, I feel like, in at least the US's culture, is the grays, gray aliens. So they have gray skin, usually like 3.5 feet tall, large heads, giant black eyes, like nostrils, but no nose, and like a slit for a mouth, and no ears, and like 3 to 4 fingers. Is usually what they look like. These I feel like are the ones like most often in abduction stories, and in my mind, like they're thought to be nefarious and attributed to animal mutilations too, which I think is fair.
Yeah, yeah. Like this is like the bad alien.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there is like an idea that maybe they abduct humans and animals to learn about us, like as creatures, but I feel like there's also stories of them like messing with our DNA, like as if we're guinea pigs. Have you heard of?
I have a theory about this when you're done.
Okay. Um, and there's also stories of them like impregnating women to make human alien hybrids, maybe to like take over the world, but what's your
Okay, so I've heard a theory that they're actually human time travelers from the future, and that's just what we like evolved into, which I could kind of see.
Yeah.
But then if they're like messing with our DNA, are they, because it's their DNA too, and that's why they can like interbreed, because it's just other humans? And like, what if they're just trying to keep things going on the right path or something? I don't know. Like, it's into time travel, which we don't need to get into, but like, I've heard that people think that they're future humans trying to prevent things.
Yeah, I have heard that too. I don't think I included that here, so that's a good addition because I forgot about it. But I've definitely heard that, and like it's kind. I feel like if they're messing with our DNA to make us them, maybe faster or something, it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Or better, or like
Oh
there's
yeah, maybe they're like
something
we're too
that
short.
maybe there's something that happens down the line that they're trying to like reverse.
Yeah,
Or like
like
they've been seen, they're like most active when we're doing fucked up shit. Like there were a ton of
yeah,
aliens during the like nuclear renaissance. It's not a renaissance, that's not the word I want, but like when we first started getting into like nuclear war and like stuff like that. And I
yeah,
kind of wonder if they're like trying to scare off, like prevent something really bad from happening.
right.
But also, that sounds psychotic.
But I could see them being time travelers too.
Yeah.
And yeah, if we fuck everything up, then they would cease to exist if they're from the future. So
Right.
it makes sense for them to want to.
Or like they have like some really bad like
Yeah.
genetic thing that they're trying to stop from happening, so they like pick the best of their
Yeah.
offspring and try to like prevent that from happening. I don't know.
Or they're like studying our DNA to learn more. Like we didn't learn the thing in the future or whatever, so they have to go back and
Yeah, or something
look at
with
it more.
animals that they're trying to prevent from happening, like
Yeah.
where did things go wrong or something.
Right.
Oh boy.
I was gonna say something. Oh, and because they're often like sexless, it seems like. So isn't like the Y genome
Yes, it
like
is.
so that kind of could make sense too that like oh if there's only X's in the future like XX and stuff then maybe we
So
lose
all the aliens are ladies.
then maybe we kind of lose our gender like our sex organs I guess.
Yeah. And that's why they're
Yeah.
like that. Oh my god. We
Yep.
cracked the
They're us from
code.
the future, from distant future. Well, so there is a story about that a little bit later. Um, but yeah, these types of aliens have been predominant since the 1960s, which like there was Roswell in the 40s, which maybe had aliens like these, or maybe like green aliens, right?
Right.
Um, But like one of the most famous cases with the Greys was Barney and Betty Hill abduction case in 1961. So after that, I think it like people started saying they saw them a lot. Have you heard of that
I've
one?
heard of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that might be a different
That could be
topic.
an episode for sure.
Yeah. Um, but during that case, like Betty drew a star map that she said the aliens showed her, like she was under hypnosis to try and remember. And first, like a school teacher somehow interpreted the star map as Zeta Reticuli, which is a binary star system. So sometimes people call the Greys Zeta Reticulans because of that. I haven't really heard that.
I don't know why we're caring what a school teacher interpreted.
I know.
Like, we didn't have anyone.
It was weird that how did the school teacher maybe like a space teacher, like a science space person teacher, like that knew the stars.
Yeah, but maybe we should be asking astronomers, not astrologists, astronomers.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it was like a friend of hers or I don't know what happened. Or how did she have such influence to be like, yeah, that's
Yeah,
Zeta Reticuli. Now
yeah.
everyone's gonna call it that. But yeah, this type of alien like does seem to have started kind of in literature though. Like in 1891, Meta, A Tale of the Future was published, in which the protagonist